So now let's look at some of the choices that you have for your personal preferences. The easiest way to get to this data page is through Preferences. Let's show you another way to navigate there. You click on the Staff module, type in your last name, select yourself, go to Pages, and to Preferences. So you can see that this is a good example of how you can get to different spots in Gemini from different ways, but they may not always be the simplest. It would have been a lot simpler just to click on the Preferences button and open up this data page. So here we start with the choices that you have. You can select any caseload that you have access to be the default when you do a caseload search. And these next three fields are what show when you open up an individual file right underneath the buttons at the top. The default is set to case type. So I usually recommend to the VRAs that they change this to the case master ID so that they see that when they open the file. You can also change the text size. And as you're scrolling down to see the different choices, there may be some that won't make any sense to you. It's like inventory module. We don't use that in the Gemini system, but it's a product of Aware VR. And so there may be things that you won't change or even select because we just don't use them. And some of these layouts you can also change from the module itself. A popular one to change is your theme, which is actually the color of the software program. So I've been using Web Blue throughout this navigation demonstration, but you can see that there's many choices. And the last one that I want to point out is this legacy search page. I've got that marked. As the default, it is not selected. And it's just a change in how the filters that you see when you're in the participant module. So now let's go ahead and make a few changes in our preferences so that you can see what it looks like. So you'll click on your Preferences button. And let's go ahead, let's start with changing our header field number 2. So you may just care about the case master ID and not the participant ID. And so perhaps you want to change it to the customer's phone number. Let's scroll down to the theme. And I'll hope I don't miss it. There we go. And we're going to choose Black Metro Touch. And then I've been using this legacy throughout the navigation demonstration, so I'm going to uncheck it so that you can see what that looks like. So we'll go ahead and click on Finish. And now we'll go into our participant module. Okay. And sometimes it won't change the theme unless you actually log out and log back in. So if it doesn't change for you right away, go ahead and try that. So here you go. This is what the Black Metro looks like. Okay. And notice now that instead of having our filter up here, you have a filter for each one of the columns that you can choose between. Okay, and then also instead of clicking on the customer's name, you'll actually go over here and click on the Select button. And now you'll see up here where before you were seeing the participant ID number, you're now seeing Carrot's phone number. So now we're going to look at how you can create custom caseload layouts. From the participant module, you will choose Actions, Manage Layouts, and then you won't see anything in here unless you have already created some layouts of your own. I just have the access to see everyone's layouts. So you're going to start with the New button, give your layout a name, and again, you're the only one that is going to see this. And then you have 3 choices from what type of layout group you're going to choose. I'd suggest that you play around with all 3. For today, we're going to go ahead and choose Case. And then you also want to start with a layout template. And again, you're not going to see all of these. My suggestion is to go ahead and choose one of them that is a standard layout already in the system. Such as Caseload Open. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on Finish. So the first thing that you'll want to do is make sure that you mark Available for Data Page Mode. If you don't mark this, when you go back to search for your new layout, you won't see it. You don't need to publish the layout. It's just going to be for your use. So we're going to go down and just concentrate on what columns you can display for your layout. So the Caseload Open, these are the columns that show up. So let's say that we don't really want to show the county, then these are our choices. One that's really popular is the case note date, most recent, so we're going to choose that. And maybe you'd like to see the highest ranking activity due. Perhaps you want to know if this customer is a student with a disability. And maybe you want to know if they are a youth with a disability. Now you can also add more columns. So we're going to add one more. And what we want to see is if they have supported employment on their current plan. Okay, so normally that's all you need to do to set up a different layout. We're going to click on Finish. Finish again. And now we're going to go here to our Layout tab, and under Layouts we should be able to see the one that we just created. You can click Apply, and now you can see that the columns are what we selected as our column choices. And that's how you create a custom layout.